In the world of aviation, there are planes that fly, and then there are planes that refuse to die. Usually, when the National Transportation Safety Board files a report labeled "substantial damage" in the middle of a national forest, that's the end of the story. The plane is stripped, the insurance is paid, and the mountain claims the rest. But N52671, a 1976 Cessna 182P, had a different plan. This is the deep dive story of a 1984 miracle in the Oregon timber and the incredible technological resurrection that has this exact aircraft patrolling the skies of Michigan today. To understand the stakes, you have to understand the terrain. Tiller, Oregon, sits in the heart of the Umpqua National Forest. It is a landscape of vertical cliffs, narrow canyons, and Douglas firs that grow so thick they create a solid floor of green. On July 19, 1984, this was the gauntlet that N52671 had to run. The pilot was navigating the rugged Cascades, a route that demands respect and constant vigilance. But on this day, the one thing every pilot fears happened. The engine didn't just cough, it went completely silent. Fuel exhaustion is a cold, hard reality in the sky. When the fuel stops flowing, the Cessna 182 becomes a high-performance glider, but one with a very limited range. The pilot, alone in the cockpit, was suddenly faced with a terrifying dead-stick landing. In the Umpqua forest, there are no fields. There are only trees. He had to perform a maneuver known as mushing. By pulling back on the yoke and keeping the plane at the very edge of a stall, he slowed the forward airspeed to a crawl. He didn't fly into the trees. He settled onto them. The branches acted like giant wooden fingers, catching the wings and absorbing the kinetic energy that would have otherwise been fatal. The official NTSB report, CA-84LA-167, provides the clinical details. It notes that the aircraft came to rest 12 miles southeast of Tiller. When investigators arrived, they found a plane that looked like it had been through a war. The wings were crumpled, the landing gear was stressed, and the skin was torn. But the cabin, the survival cell of the Cessna, remained remarkably intact. The report marks the injuries as none. The pilot didn't just survive. He opened the door and walked into the forest to find help. It was a textbook example of how to survive the unsurvivable. But what happened next is where the story gets even more interesting. Usually, recovering a plane from the deep Cascades is too expensive to be worth it. But someone saw the value in this 182P. The P model of the Skylane is a beloved airframe, known for its stability and the powerful Continental 0470 engine. Using likely a combination of heavy-lift logging helicopters or grueling ground transport, the broken bird was hauled out of the woods. It was a total loss to the insurance company, but to a dedicated restorer, it was a blank canvas. The journey from Oregon to the Midwest took time. The plane underwent what we call a ground-up restoration. This isn't just a repair, it's a rebirth. The fuselage was jigged to ensure it was perfectly straight. New wings were sourced. The engine was overhauled to zero-time specifications. Modern avionics were wired into a panel that once held 1970s steam gauges. Every single rivet was a step away from the mountain and a step closer to the clouds. This plane was no longer a victim of a crash. It was a masterpiece of aviation maintenance. Fast forward to today. If you look at the flight logs in southeast Michigan, you'll see N52671 active and healthy. It's flying over the Great Lakes, crossing the flatlands of Oakland County, and landing at busy Detroit area airports. The people watching it taxi by have no idea that this beautiful white and blue Skylane once spent a night tangled in the treetops of a Pacific Northwest forest. It is a living legend, a Phoenix aircraft that proves that with enough skill and passion, the sky is never truly closed. Next time you see a small plane overhead, remember N52671. It's a reminder that a pilot's training can save a life, and a mechanic's hands can save a legacy. From the timber of Tiller to the Great Lakes of Michigan, some wings are simply meant to stay in the air. Thanks for joining us for this look into aviation history. Safe flying. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more amazing aviation stories.